All right, guys, today we have a real special guest. I mean, this man been on all the news stations. His work been in art galleries. He making mad loot. Okay, look at him. Look at he's shining right now, okay? Very talented brother. I'm talking about the one and only Danny Cortes,
What's up?
aka
What's up?
Chavito.
Chavito, el rico bandido.
What's good, Danny? How you doing, man?
Good, man. Blessed, man. Just having a great time, having fun at the end of the day, and grinding. I love it. I love what I do. So it's easy because I love it. So.
You know what I love seeing is that throughout the years that I've followed you, bro, you seem to be filled with more and more life as time goes on. Like the fulfillment, you exude the confidence and everything like that. It really shows like how much fun and happiness that you are. You're living your best life. That's what it is.
Living the best life. And it all starts with yourself. It all starts with loving what you do. And let's put aside the money. Let's put aside the fame and success. And this goes out to all the listeners out there. And it's never too late.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's never too late once your back is against the wall. Like, we come from an environment that is like destined to fail. But if you put your love into something that you do, I guarantee you, man, just hold on one more day. It will happen.
Yeah, man. Well, you know what? I'm so glad that we're able to get this interview done because I've been waiting for 2 years.
It's been
now,
a
man.
while, man. I just wanted to give you the all the time, all the patience just for today. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So you on vacation and you still working, man. So you guys got to clap it up for him for that. Okay.
It don't stop.
Yeah.
Man. But as long as the family's okay with it,
Yeah,
they're my biggest supporters. They're my number one fans. They understand.
So I like to start at the beginning just so we can paint the canvas and let the people see you for who you really are, right? You're from Brooklyn and you're born in Brooklyn?
Born in Brooklyn.
Okay. And which part of Brooklyn?
Bushwick. Long Island College was the hospital. Long Island College and Atlantic Avenue, which is now Langone, I think it is. NYU Langone. But in Atlantic Avenue, raised in Bushwick, Brooklyn in the 80s. And half my let's say when I moved at 14, 15, we moved to Bed-Stuy, which is a rough time at during the 90s, 94, 95. Yeah, Kosciuszko between Marcy and Tompkins. And, so I got to experience both sides.
Did you grow up with any siblings?
I did it. I have two brothers from mother and father, but they stood in Puerto Rico due to, my mom being young and my mom being afraid of my dad. He just took my brothers and, my mother just took me to New York City and we just studied it,
Oh, wait, so they your blood brothers, but you just didn't grow up with them.
From mother, father, yeah. But my mom was so ignorant and young at the time that whatever my dad was saying, like, he was always like, wasn't very the nicest person to my mom, so threatened her with a lot of things and I don't know, just out of fear, which nowadays you just, she could just report it and that was all. Just having those brothers is definitely was a stain in my heart because, having brothers that you can grow up with that could take you out of these situations growing up in the 80s and the 90s, I didn't have a brother figure, which I always wanted, but, that's just life. That's what God had for me. And that was the plan. So it's perfect. It was perfect. It had to be that way. But yeah, three brothers, Jason, Jeffrey. They grew up, born and raised in Puerto Rico, and I'm the one that was born in New York City and stood in New York City.
Did you feel like lonely as a child as a result though, because like you didn't have that?
Yeah, I did. I did feel lonely, knowing that I had brothers, and it was always confusing for me as a child. Like, why I have brothers? Why they're not with me? It was always the question, and I always had a little resentment on my mom as I grew older. Like, yo, that's you're the mom. Like, why didn't you fight for your kids? But life goes on. It's just that's the way it was supposed to be, and
Right.
and my mom is the greatest thing that ever happened to me. And actually, I got her with me everywhere I go. I take her with me. All those little perks that I get, she's always with me. Yes, because I never slept with being hungry. I always had a meal, always had clean clothes, always had a roof over my head. I had the latest games, like everything you could think of. My mother tried, she made it happen, So, salute to my mom for doing that. But being lonely, again to that topic, yeah, bro, and that's what also plays subliminally, I guess, in my career now is having the freedom of imagination, being the only child, you could say, at the household, and I would disappear with my G.I. Joes and Transformers, action figures, Ninja Turtles, and I would disappear to this fantasy world for hours and hours. And it was the result of being the only child syndrome,
Right.
Imagination is key, so.
What did your parents do for work?
My mom was at an early age, she was on welfare. And then she worked in odd jobs, cleaning, in factories. I remember her taking me to a few blocks away. I grew up in 36 Aryan Place between Bushwick and Broadway. And there was a factory like 1 block away. I remember her sometimes taking me to work. And how I grew up in this factory, and I'm running around this factory that she used to sew sweaters and different odd jobs. She worked for Kodak as well, the factory for Kodak.
Difficult job.
She works for Cascade. Yeah, physical job, factory job, minimum wage. At the time, it must have been like $3-4 an hour or something. But I remember the last job she worked was at Cascade on Myrtle and Morrissey Avenue in Bed-Stuy.
So was it a traditional Puerto Rican household, would you say?
Oh, yes, because I had my uncles. And the music, man, it was salsa, soul music, because Margie on the second floor, that was like my aunt, she was a New Yorican woman that was raised in Bushwick projects. So she comes with the black folks, and she brought that soul to our building, so Marvin Gaye, from disco to all these barbecue classic rhythms and mixed with salsa and freestyle music, and also hip hop, of course, right. So all these flavors in the air, and you as a kid using imagination, you were wondering. I listen to these rhythms today, and it just takes me to a beautiful place, as chaotic and overwhelming the 80s crack era, crack epidemic. 90s was 80s and 90s was a super chaotic time. But come to think about it, sometimes I didn't feel it because we all were poor. The whole block was poor. We didn't feel it. It was a lot of love. That's when OGs really was still a thing to say, because Gilbert and Sonny, the neighbors, these were men of the block, and they catch you doing something out of line, they'll pull you by your ear and bring you home, and you can't do that now,
Right.
That's why it's so chaotic. But they gave us that father figure. Even though we didn't have the father figure, there was always someone playing that role.
Yeah, man. The thing you were talking about with the music, they brings you back to a place, right? Because they say that smell is our strongest sense, right? It can bring you back to the memories of your mom cooking in the kitchen, all that stuff.
Man.
But music, it has that like marker in time for you, that when you hear that song, it brings you back, bro. Like, it's so crazy.
Panda, I could hear sounds, man, songs, and I can tell you the temperature of that day. I can tell you just the weather. If it was a nighttime, if it was daytime, who was around me. These feelings is music is powerful. That's why I incorporate music is a big part of my art,
Yeah.
Well, art and music go together,
So you would spend like summers in Puerto Rico, right, with your dad?
I would, yes. I would go, and Pops was, shout out to David Cortes, who's no longer with us. He tried to. He was a rough guy, but he didn't raise me, you could say, in the sense of being in the household. He gave me everything too. He made sure like my brothers had it worse. I could say I had it very smooth with my dad because I spoke English. He was raised in Bushwick. He went to Bushwick High School as well. He
Oh,
was the New Yorker
wow.
kid that moved to Puerto Rico. My mom was the Puerto Rican girl that moved to New York City.
Why did he decide to move to Puerto Rico?
My grandparents were well off at the time, with a few series of bodegas in Bushwick, and they retired and they have a lot of land, and it was more easier for him. And he opened up his ironworks welding business, and he was very successful in that.
Mm,
And it was a demand in PR with welding because everyone
right.
needed a gate, and he was the man in our town. A small little town in Puerto Rico called Florida, Puerto Rico. It's next to Manatí, Arecibo, Barceloneta. For all the listeners and viewers that are familiar with Puerto Rico, it's like mid north.
So he was like a real traditional, like hardcore dad, like in that sense of like, you know what I mean? Like
He
manly.
had that biker look. He was with the bandanas. He was the New York 80s, 70s, 80s child that moved to New York City, and he was like a biker. He had that style. He was into like rock and hippie.
How would you describe like your relationship with him though?
Great, great. It was definitely like he was like a hero to me.
Mm,
He was a superhero because I didn't grow up with a dad in the household, and knowing that I had a dad in Puerto Rico, when I see him, I was like, oh my God, I get to experience this for at least a month or two. And me being with him, he showed me those values and come on, son, let's go for a ride. Let's go play some catch. And he was a big part of my baseball career too, because he was an awesome baseball player. That's why I'm a Mets fan.
oh.
Because of that.
What about your relationship with your brothers when you would go over there?
All my brothers, especially Jason, my older brother, he's the father. He's my father.
Mm,
He played that role of there's photos of us. I'm still trying to find it, but my mom has it somewhere. There's photos of Jason holding me, like protecting me everywhere we went. It was always Jason holding me, And I'm about to go see Jason on the 25th. I go to Puerto Rico on the 25th. I got my first solo show in Puerto Rico. And it feels great. They got the whole town
that's amazing.
ready to go
Man.
to San Juan. They rooted for me, man. And yeah, but my brother and Joffrey was introvert, very middle child syndrome, if you could say. To this day, awesome. I love my brothers, and very protective. They were very protective of me.
So, how would you describe yourself as a child? Like, were you really into sports, music, or school?
Um, very. Me as a child, I was very into sports, into everything. I was everything like sports, comic books, cartoons, action figures, everything, man. And I had a beautiful childhood. Being alone, but had the block. So my cousins across the street, Tech MOB, shout out to Ruben Cortes, which is very known in the 90s graffiti era, of the Vandal era. My family was the block.
Got you, man.
Yeah.
So you're growing up in Brooklyn during the 80s, right? But you're really coming up in the 90s.
Right. Yes.
Right.
80s
Yeah.
was just childhood.
Mm-hmm. So help paint the scene for us. As a kid, you're walking the streets. What are you seeing in
80s?
Brooklyn?
80s?
Yeah.
80s. Okay. I'm seeing tons of graffiti, dilapidated, abandoned buildings, rubble everywhere. Dogs, packs of dogs, music, loud music. different types of Caribbean sounds, hip hop sounds.
Very cultured.
Very cultured. Yes. A lot of homelessness, a lot of drugs. I've seen lines, man, that you would think. Also, we were on cheese lines, yes, but there was also crack lines, and I got to see that.
How do you think that impacted you as a kid, though, seeing that?
Well, I knew something was off. I knew something wasn't right. I remember my uncle. Shout out to my uncle. I won't say the name, but my family knows who we're talking about. But I remember when he's the youngest brother of my mom, and I remember he would babysit me. Awesome uncle, another superhero. But I would be in these lines as a kid. He would buy me a toy so I could stay calm. And I'll be in these long lines in the street, summer. And we would go into this abandoned building right in the front. And it was a boarded door or window, if I can remember correctly. There was a hole. And he would slide the money, and a white little powder or substance would come out. And he would grab it and we'll leave. And that was my childhood. So I was on these crack lines, coke lines, whatever these. I got to firsthand what you guys see in movies that's being glorified now in movies and in music. I was in those lines as a kid.
So during that time, you're not able to to process that kind of thing happening, right?
I can't process it, but I knew something was off. I knew something was wrong. And friends, classmates, friends of the area, their parents hooked on these drugs like zombies on Murder on Broadway. If you guys know about Murder on Broadway, bro, that's like the little Times Square that never closes, and it's like zombie land. And the way it was this big K2 movement per se, as a few years ago and to this day, in the 80s, it was just like that. Murder on Broadway never changed. It's been it's crack utopia.
But did anybody ever have a conversation with you, like explaining why these people look the way they do or anything like that? Or you just over time, like you started to understand?
Well, in class, there was a program called Dare. I think it was Dare or something. Yeah. And they will bring these briefcases and they show you all the drugs and why. And they show you videos of people using these drugs. And yeah, they broke it down to me. And then, hands on, sleeping over my friend's house, do sleepovers and stuff, and seeing their father nodding off on missions, and we'll be the only ones in the house. Yeah, you see it firsthand.
Yeah, it's very sad when you really
very sad. Very sad. If you start to think about it, it's like, wow, like we lived through that,
Right. How were the 90s for you walking the streets? Like, what are you seeing in the difference?
90s, bro. That was another animal. 90s. Now we are teenagers.
You already hopped off the porch now.
We hop off the porch now. Now you want to get fly. You want to impress the chicks. You want to impress, it's about fashion now. You want to get the latest polo. You need the latest Carhartt,
You was one of them fly dudes. I could tell, like, the way
I always try. I definitely stay with my 90s vintage. I love my vintage era. I love polo, and 90s is something special. I got to learn how to be a man in the 90s. But 90s, say the question again. What was it? What the 90s?
What are you seeing on the streets in the 90s compared to the 80s?
Okay, now more music. Now is the music I love now. Now I'm hearing music. I'm seeing fashion. I'm seeing the flyest guys in the block. The whips now. Now I'm starting to like cars. Now I know the chicks with the bamboos and they always gravitating to these guys with the cars and the jewelry and a lot of North Face.
Mm-hmm.
Man, definitely graph at its peak, Vandal, hardcore Vandal graphs. Seen a lot of Scuff, YKK, Kes 5, Spot, SR, MBK, Tech MOB, you know, all these Bushwick legends, Noxer, you know, a lot of graph. A lot of graph. Now you know what's going on because you're in it.
So what are you during this time? Like, are you getting into trouble during this time?
Yes, I was, but not so much. Sports kept me away from a lot of trouble. Sports definitely kept
On baseball during this time.
on baseball. Yes. I was in Sandlot baseball, Little League, Highland Park, Lindsay, and then we graduated to Bonnie's baseball, youth service. And baseball definitely kept me off the streets, even though I was dibbling and dabbling in the streets because of temptation and your family around you, you know, cousins that are into graph, into music. And we just being a kid, just living, you know.
Right.
And trying to, smoking, trying weed for the first time, and you like it, and you're trying to impress the girls, and and then you definitely want a career in the baseball, but then you also like the street, and then went boosting. That was a thing. Clothing, cans, markers, black books, whatever it was. We would go to the city and rack up, bro. Propane. I was a bandit. I was a bandit from propane like 20 times, bro.
Wow. You know, it's a good reminder that during those years, it's a very confusing time for kids, right? You can go either one or the other way. Like that's like the time where you can make a decision that changes your life forever.
Yes. And I was on thin ice because I was on both playing fields. I had the positive people, and I also, you know, but my mom was always put that fear in me. I respect my mom's a lot. You know, I rebelled as well as a teenager and, you know, caught my attitudes here and there, but I always respect my mom.
So why did you not pursue a career in baseball? What happened?
I was getting older and nothing was happening. You know, I was pretty good. But then what was derailing me from baseball is my passion for music.
Got you. Okay.
I fell in love with hip hop, and then I discovered Spanish hip hop and reggaeton, which the word reggaeton did exist when I fell in love with it. You talking
and
about
that was from going to Puerto Rico, right? And you were
to Puerto
with
Rico. Exactly. Going to my trips to Puerto Rico now as a teenager, my brother would pick me up at the airport with his whip, and he's like, yo, check this out. Boom. And he threw this cassette, Guatauba. And it was like the first crossover. You had like KRS-One in it, and you had Tony Touch, who was a big part of this compilation Spanish album. You had Mad Lion in it, Craig G, and then you had Daddy Yankee, Mexicano, Ray Pirin, Michael Emanuel. So you had all these dope Puerto Rican artists as well as American artists, which I'm fans of. Tony Touch being from Bushwick, you know, I'm like, wait a second, what's going on here? I don't know about this. And this is a mix of medleys of dope hip hop and reggaeton, and it was just a beauty. It was just a masterpiece, and I was hooked, brother, hooked. And I said, wait a second, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm from New York. You know, every time I come to Puerto Rico, I'm like the center of attention with fashion and with the latest music. And I'm starting to, you know, play with the pen a little bit. Why not experiment with this?
How old are you at the time when you start rapping?
15.
15? Okay.
I think 15 years old. But I always, in the baseball, you know, I was the dude that will always I'll be freestyling and dissing the whole other team. While the game is playing. And my boy would everybody would know this. Everybody that's listening that played with me, you know, my boy would do a beat, and I would start freestyling and dissing the pitcher and the coach, the umpire. Everybody would get it. And I'm just freestyling, having fun. Spanglish, mixing it up. And yeah, so everybody knew I had that gift already. You know, being raised in New York City, Boot Camp Click, you know, Tribe Called Quest, Busta Rhymes, Eminem, Big Pun, all these sounds, Biggie, and then also I'm a fan of Mexicano, Daddy Yankee, Nicky Jam, Ray Pirin, Michael Emanuel, my favorite duo. You know, this is before we see Yandel, before Rakim McKenway, before Zion and Lennox, the main group, the top dogs of Michael Emanuel.
Right. So did you start as like being a real spitter, or did you start to incorporate that melody from reggaeton in
Spitter.
spitter? Okay.
Because I'm from New York City, so I wanted to get that New York flow,
Right.
but it's in Spanish, which I wasn't really hearing that style. I wasn't hearing that style, and it definitely Spitter. Even though I did play with the commercial reggaeton and the dance hall, you know, the number one was lyricism and spitting.
Right. That's the
trying to
core.
incorporate that, yeah. And it's because of my upbringing in New York City.
Mm-hmm. So we know that your name eventually became Chavito, but was that your first rap name, or you had something else?
Yo, you're good, Panda. You're great.
What?
You're good. I love this interview. Yes. Yes, Chavito, yes. All right, let's go with Chavito. So Chavito, right, when I got to... Chavito was a name. It's a Mexican actor from Chespirito, Chavo del Ocho. It's a big, like a sketch comedy in Mexico, which is went worldwide. And he always wore this hat with the flaps. And my mom in winter, as a kid, she would dress me up in this hat just to bundle me up with like 3 coats, sweaters, for these 3 scarves, you know, and then she'd top it off with that hat.
Right.
And when I go to school, PS 120 in Brooklyn, the kids would make fun of me. They're like, oh, you look like Chavo del Ocho, Chespirito, Chavo. And bro, with this name, this name haunted me. I used to fight, bro. I used to literally have fights for this name. I didn't like the name at all. It started sticking, and it wouldn't stop. You know, it's all fun and games. My whole family will call me Chavo because they say I look like Chavo del Ocho. So then I'm in high school now, and the same way I'll do in Bushwick High School. Shout out to my Bushwick Tigers alumni, my whole crew. I was also the rapper of the team. I would diss the other schools, and they're like, what I'm gonna call myself? You know, when I started going to the studio and actually started writing songs, I was like, I didn't know what to call myself. What, Danny D,
Right.
MC Danny? Yeah, like, come on, nah. I couldn't find a name that was thick, and everybody called me Chavito anyway, so I just stood with Chavito. Chavito is in Mexico and Latin America is like someone young, a little kid, copper, penny. So yeah, that's where Chavito came from. So a name that I disliked became, you know, legendary. Legendary in my career.
So was rapping the first element of hip hop that you practiced, or did you do graffiti, breakdancing?
Breakdancing. I remember in birthday parties, and breakdance was a thing. I used to breakdance in the birthday parties, and I'll do fake windmills and
you were spinning on your head?
baby freebies. Oh, I couldn't do that. No, it wasn't that serious. I was trying to do breakdance. Yeah, I was trying.
Because I was about to ask you if you could still do it now.
My career will be done.
It'll be done.
But shout out to Mr. Freeze, shout out to Crazy Legs, shout out to these amazing artists, shout out to the whole Rocksteady crew, which shows me so much love. And it's amazing that you grow up idolizing these people, and it's cool that now you could just call them, man. It's amazing. Yeah.
So then you got into graffiti after?
Then graffiti. My cousin Tech MB was a well-known graffiti artist in the 90s, 80s and 90s. TEC, Tech MOB, Masters of Bombing, Masters of Bushwick, Money Over Bitches, just MOB, man. MOB to the core. And I would see legendary. You have Scuff One Day come through Arian Place, Cast 5, Knox, Giz, shout out to Theme, KD, D-Rock from Bushwick, a bunch of artists who just come through. And this is very early on. So this is before they blew up in the graph game. They were passing through Arian Place and checking out my cousin Tech. Tech was also a DJ. I would run off. I was the gopher, like, yo, go get me some Lucy's, and just being with the big guys, I felt like powerful, I felt cool, and I'll go buy the records. But all this is molding me. You know what I mean? I'm buying vinyls at the record shop. They'll give me a list. And I remember buying Dirty Cash, that song. It's like a house record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dirty Cash, I want you. That was, I remember going with a $10 bill, copying the vinyl, bringing it back, and everybody hyped. He's my cousin spitting on the block. So on the block parties, that's a form of my hip hop education. And
block parties, man. Wow.
Block parties with the pump, full blast, the fire hydrant.
Yeah, man. That's
great.
Definitely influence for your art.
Absolutely. 80s, 90s, man.
Yeah.
It's the aesthetics is there. It's recorded in my memory.
So who becomes your top 5 rap influences?
My top 5 rap influences, when I started picking up the pen, for sure, I have to put Tribe Called Quest in there. This is the sounds that I was listening to. Duck Down, everyone from Duck Down. Wu-Tang, #1 to this day. Wu-Tang. So many, PANDA. Terror Squad, bro. Everyone from Terror Squad. Everyone. Many more, bro. Many more.
It's hard to choose, right?
It's hard to choose, man, because it depends also if you want to say, what years, and if I want to go 93, 94, Black Sheep.
Man, I love that you're such a real hip hop fan. Like, you can tell, like, you naming names that a lot of times people don't give credit to.
Yes, they're gonna name you the cliche. They're gonna name you
Mount Rushmore, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Cypress Hills, Bone Thugs.
Oh man,
that's why listening to Bone Thugs, even though they were in you could say they transitioned from the East Coast to the West, and that's where they blew up in the West. But that's how I learned my flow.
Right.
My flow is it's speedy, choppy, melodic.
Do you think that's a natural thing that? I notice a lot of Latinos like to rap faster because, like, the language is spoken very fast too, though, right? Like the way.
I guess it was because of the dance hall. Because what reggaeton was doing was copying, translating Jamaican records, dance hall records that was happening. There was more of a translation,
right?
And then as it grew. Then they started doing more original. All Daddy Yankee's early career is a translation of like a bunch of dancehall records, like Shabba Ranks and Supercat and stuff like that. So that's it was practicing, because you're studying the flows and you're translating Spanish
the patterns.
But by you studying these patterns, when you do your own, you're starting to find your own craft.
Yeah.
But me listening to a lot of Bone Thugs shaped my my flow, with melody and rapping fast and slowing it down, and definitely a big Busy Bone fan.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, sure. That's one of my favorite Bone Thugs is Busy Bone.
Mm-hmm. What age did you decide, all right, this is what I really want to do as a career, is be a rapper?
1997. Club Hollywood in Puerto Rico. My brother and my cousin takes me to Club Hollywood. They snuck me in the club. I was 16 years old. and and I was bothering them so much during that week because in the radio it was Michael Emanuel is performing live in Club Hollywood, and I'm like, yo, please take me, and they took me, and I was right on the stage, right there, just seeing the way they were flowing and the way they demanded the stage, the way they just ripped it, bro. Yeah, I fell in love, and I said, this is what I want to do. The attention that the people were giving them, the love that the way the girls screamed for these guys, the way the crowd sang the music back to them. It was hypnotic, bro.
Yeah, man.
And I wanted that.
You know, it's crazy because like when we were kids, it's like you looked at rappers a lot of times like superheroes almost, you know what I mean?
For real, bro. I was just talking to Michael the other day. And I give the flowers, man. I don't have an ego, bro. I killed that motherfucker a long time ago. And I just gave him all his flowers, bro. And when I get to Puerto Rico, I'm gonna meet up with all my heroes, with Gringo from Baby Latte Gringo. I'm meeting up with Michael, meeting up with Elias de Leon, which is one of my boys from White Lion Records, the owner of White Lion Records, who is responsible of Boricua Guerrero, is responsible of Tego, Calle 13, Julio Voltio, all these big names, you know what I mean? Yeah, and these are peers of mine. I didn't make it the way as far as I wanted to make it in the music or in baseball, but God is so great, and He knows my heart that He said, "You're still gonna be in that field,
right,
doing something different, but you're gonna be one of the best at it."
So eventually, you start making a big enough name for yourself that you meet like my brother Big Lou and other Latino rappers.
Oh man, Big Lou, for real. Yes.
I've seen old videos of you guys like freestyling and stuff. Yo,
yes,
it's crazy.
Man. Big Lou. When I first met Big Lou, it was like, yo, as soon as we met each other, it was like if I knew him for years, since we were like we were brothers, like that. The connection was so ill, bro. And he came with his brothers from Philly. Off the rip, I don't remember the names, but my man was just, he'd been like 20, 30 years, did a snitch, you know what I mean? It was like his right-hand man. His whole crew was it just embraced me, man. And Big Lou, bro, we did a dope record together. And every time he had something going on, I'll shoot to Philly. Anything I had going on, he would come down for even as a show, you know, not even on some feature shit. He would just come through, show some love, just to chill with us, you know?
Solid brother, man.
Yeah, solid dude. Amazing guy. Man, I love to Big Lou. And I seen a couple of interviews of Big Lou, and I laugh all the time, bro, because what Lou say is fucking true, bro. It's crazy, man.
But how did you start connecting with everybody and working together? Because like during that time period, it was like, man, like Latino rappers were really on a rise and working together, like, you know?
Yeah, they go open the doors, and now all the radio stations are jumping on the bandwagon. So everything is reggaeton this and reggaeton that. So I was grinding on the reggaeton since 97. I've been grinding, you know, and then now fast forward 2006, 2005, 2006, we grinding. So now we have connections with the DJs, connections with other artists. And it's a thing. So now I'm like, in New York City at that time, I'm like, the forefront of the many artists that were there, and we have access to these things, and especially with SPMG, my family, my brothers, we did it old school. We did it like guerrilla marketing. We'll go up to the clubs, we'll go buy 10 bottles, and just by the look, you just want to play my music. You know what I'm saying? We in Club Deep every Sunday. We grinding. We in Fantasia, Perfections. We go 50, 100 deep. So the promoters, they want to make bread. So that's what it is. So everywhere I went with a mob. You know, shout out to SPMG, Rock, Manny, Fish. What's up? Yeah, they definitely was responsible of my career in those beautiful times.
And then at one point you had Cool and Dre producing for you, right?
Yes. That's because I signed with, if you could say, don't quote me on this, but remember, it was a very weird time in the music industry. I say 05, 06, 07, 08, that era. Nobody was really selling records like that. It was a big ringtone era.
Right.
Everything was ringtones, like commercials, TV, everything was ringtones. And I got signed to a ringtone company called Zingy. They were like the #1 ringtone distributors in the world.
Yo, people were paying a lot of money for ringtones at that time too. It's crazy, bro.
Bro, the checks I've made with ringtones was ridiculous. I don't think you even will see. You don't even want to put out music with the money that I was making with these ringtones, man. Just for a clip, 10 seconds, you're paying $5, $3,
Right.
more than a single.
Yeah, that
was
crazy.
Like $1. Wallpapers.
Right.
Bro, Ziggy did a super promo so that I'll be in every TV channel, every station. And in Puerto Rican Day Parade, they pressed out like so many flyers. And we're giving these flyers out with me like this, chilling, posing, modeling in front of this 4x6 flyer. Text 999 or whatever the number was. And you get a free wallpaper if you download this. And bro, when those checks came in, I was like, I thought I made it. I was like, shit, this is what it takes. This is the life.
But then you said that Cool and Dre started producing.
Oh, so going back, my fault. Yeah. Well, I just went off the track. Yes. So Ziggy signs me. I got signed. We went to Battery Studios, I believe, that day. That night we get a call from who helped out was Dustin and DT, who was Eminem's road manager at the time. Something like that. And we at Battery Studios, and I met with Dre. And we just put him a little medley of my mixtape, little 30-second clips of me spitting over the latest hip-hop beats, American hip-hop beats. And I'm just killing it, different styles from hardcore to fast rap to, killed it. I got signed right there. They put the song, the representatives of Zingy Records showed them. We had the meeting and they wanted to convince Dre so they could produce my whole album, Cool and Dre. He heard, that's all you had to hear was like 30 seconds of my mixtape. And Dre was like, yeah, I'll do his album.
So what ended up happening with that situation?
So they gave me an amazing advance. You know how it is. It's loans. They gave me an amazing last, but they treated me. They didn't treat me like a scrub or like an artist from a third world country or anything. They gave me a standard contract, like 12 points. At that time, the only people that would see 12 points were like Eminem and Lil Wayne at the time. 12 points on a record. If I'm correct, I might be getting drugged or anything, but no, I think it was fair. My lawyer said it was fair, right. And we got a good amount of money. They paid Cool and Dre. They flew me out to the Hit Factory. I'm in the Hit Factory. I'm talking about like LL Cool J's right here. Lil Wayne is on top. Yeah, you got this is 06, so the crazy music that was coming out at that time. Fireman was just out by Lil Wayne. This is before the Carter. Missy Elliott, Timbaland, Scott Storch. I'm hanging out with Scott Storch, all in this amazing studio. Enrique Iglesias like this, chilling on his phone when I'm on the phone talking to mom how great this is happening. What's going on in my career, and we did the album, but it never came out because in the parent company, it was a fire album, by the way, which I had the masters too. I and SPMG, we are the official owners of the master. The parent company in Japan didn't make enough money that year or something, so they had to remove stuff from projects that was going on. They had their hands on a bunch of projects.
Always some shit.
It was always some shit. I'm talking about, I was about to make history, bro. I had Cool and Dre producing the craziest beats for me, bro. One of these days, we definitely, I gotta just show you this album. I'll holler at Rock and like come up with 60 dollars to this amazing album. And definitely the flows and everything, it's totally different. It's time passed, but come on, a Spanish rapper getting produced, and they just won a Grammy for the 50 Cent and the Game joint.
Right, hate it or love it.
This album was 100% made in the Hit Factory and Battery Studios. Like, he wasn't seeing that at that time in the Spanish rapper. He wasn't seeing that.
So the music thing doesn't end up working out for you, right? But other than that, like, did you face like other challenges in the industry that you feel like?
Yeah, because now that they gave us the release and they gave me all the masters and they signed everything over to us, because the people that was responsible for the project, they believed in the project, bro. They knew they were doing something legendary. It was like that was the first digital artist per se, and they felt bad that they had to not continue with the project. So they gave me the masters. They wrote it. Yeah, take it. Thousands and thousands of dollars, bro. And I had to give nothing back.
Wow.
So it was a win-win for me, because I didn't owe anybody nothing. But yeah, it kind of sucked because now we're in an era that it was very weird. Like, I didn't know what to do. I think me and my team, we did everything we could possibly do. And now these radio stations are fading away. It was just a weird time in the era. That was like 08, 09, and we just don't know what to do, bro. There was a lot of money being invested now, and our back was against the walls. We were tired of the same industry party stuff going, yo, we're gonna work, let's work. And then next thing you know, nobody does nothing. And then into the next industry party, yo, let's work. Yo, we're doing McCoy. We got tired of that. And we just decided to like, yo, let's just put the brakes on this a little bit. Rock and Manny opened up an amazing club, Polygons. And they went that direction. And I'm the little brother. Anything I needed, they still took care of me in that sense. But I got discouraged, man.
Yeah.
I already had a baby, and nothing was coming in for me, So I decided to just slow down. And I made a couple of decisions that don't regret, shape my life now, but it was very dark.
That must have been so heartbreaking because you were like literally on the verge of. Yeah, because I mean, for people that don't know, right? I seen you performing on stage with backup dancers, Hot 97 backdrops,
Yes.
all this stuff. Like, he was big, bro. Like, he was in the New York Post, magazines,
Yes,
all this stuff.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I forgot about the New York Post. Yeah.
it's crazy, man.
Yeah, we were there, but God's time is so perfect, Panda. Right. God's time is so perfect, and all those experiences, all that heartbreak, all these dark times and these slow motion periods was to shape me, bro. Back then I didn't understand it. No one does. When you're going through the dark times, we just always on some, why me? And until I got to understand myself, that's when you know that everything happens for a reason. I'm a big believer in that everything does happen for a reason. That's just me. And I'm taking it that way. And it was just to experience that, to shape me. I seen that lifestyle. I seen the money with that. I seen the fame with that. I see the sharks, the disgusting demons in that world. But now in this route, the positivity that I learned from that and the negative stuff that I learned from that shaped me for today.
I think that, there's beauty in the struggle.
You couldn't say it any perfect, Panda.
Yeah. And, you know, it's funny though. It's a reminder because, you know, so many times in life we're like, if I could just get to this point, everything will be okay. And you get to that point, right? Like a lot of times in hip hop, if I could get the record deal, I'm gonna be all right. I made it. You know, if I could rap on the radio, I'll be all right. You know, I made it. But then you get to that point and you realize this is just the beginning. Now I gotta, you know, it's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah, man. That's like when I got signed. You want to put your feet up. Oh, you owe a lot of money, buddy. You got to put the best art. It just started. So all that grind that I thought was a grind was nothing until when you get signed, bro.
Right.
That's when the rawness happens.
So at one point, you're like pretty much like hitting like rock bottom, and that's where you catch your charge, right? Like what leads up to that situation?
I was just floating, working odd jobs, and I still have an ego because Chavito cannot be seen as a 9-to-5er. You know what I mean? So I'm working in little warehouses here and there, tucked in,
That's another thing, right? That's so difficult, bro.
That's so
like
difficult.
If you're like on TV and stuff and people are like, wait, what are you doing here now with us regular people?
I went through that, bro. If they see you on a train.
Humbling and embarrassing.
They see you in a train, it's like, yo, what are you doing? They see you in a bus. I'm like, dude, like, it's not what you think, Like getting signed and becoming, well, I could say I'm a hood celebrity because I got to accomplish a lot of things, but I'm still in the hood. I'm still trying to make it. And, you're big to the outsider looking in. You're big. Oh, that's Chavito. He's in all these platforms or whatever.
Right.
So it was very difficult to manage that. So I had to be like, I had to provide for my kid. And I still had the ego though. So I had to hide here and there and stuff. And then an opportunity presents itself in the street. And I started, went to selling drugs. And now, I'm seeing that $1 turns to $5 turns to 100, 100 turns to 1,000, and everything is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger for a little bit of work. I get hooked to that lifestyle. I'm making plenty of money. I'm good now, but always paranoid everywhere I go. And that's when, I did that for a few years. And then to catch a charge.
So do you have to do time for that?
No, I had good lawyers, but the money I had saved, everything went to that.
Right.
To get 4-year probation, first charge, first offense. And man, if I tell you, it had nothing to do with me, bro. I was doing what I had to do. It was just always some knucklehead, someone else being greedy, and they're watching them. Now they're watching you because they're greedy. It was just a whole big mess, right? So I'm in this, I get this charge. Now it's like when you're successful, everybody's there with you, everybody's popping bottles, everybody's celebrating. You're the man, validation, around you. And drinking your champagne, driving your whips. But when that charge comes, when the light turns on, boom, all the roaches scatter. There was nobody in the corner, and everyone was disappearing, and losing everything. But I got freedom.
Right.
But the only thing is that probation, very strict. It's, I felt like it was a breeze. I still was messing around here and there, but I was getting more scares. Now everything was just slipping and nothing was working in my favor. That I decide just to what? That's it. I'm done. Go back to Mom Dukes, the only one that's gonna take you in, the only one that's gonna hold you back. Doesn't matter what you go on in life. A real mom, bro, is gonna hold you down no matter what.
Right.
She knew my heart. She knew my heart. So I'm back at mom's house, middle of a divorce, struggling financially. Now I'm on probation. The darkest times of my life. I feel betrayed. I'm like, I felt so resentful to everyone. You know, I was just pissed off at the world. Like, again, now is the dark cloud over me, and why me, God, why me, why me? And I'm depressed, anxiety. I'm going through so much emotions. I didn't even have money to buy a Lucy, bro. It was that bad, you know. And I would just lock myself in my bedroom. I put like sheets and just for no light to come in. Super depressed. I didn't want to wake up. I just wanted to sleep all day, not think about nothing, and be in the dark. Didn't want no communication with the world. I was in a bad depression. And I just snapped out of it, bro. I just told myself, like, yo, the fuck up, bro. What the fuck you doing? This is not you. This is not you, bro. I just spoke to God and told him, if you could just give me, now we're in a pandemic.
Right.
Now you really can't do nothing. And I just spoke to God and I told him, listen, I just get me, I just want a minimum wage job, that anything, just so I could pay little bills, help my mama. That's all I want. And sure enough, a week later, I was throwing my resume out, and I got a call from homeless shelter in Greenpoint, and I started working as an essential worker at the time, you know, doing maintenance. But I skipped a few points. But when I'm going through this depression, let me rewind it back. When I'm going through this depression and everything, I spoke to myself. I'm like, yo, cut it out, bro. This ain't you. So I spoke to myself. And me cleaning the room, because the room was all, crazy, bro. I would lock the door so no one would come in. I wouldn't want to talk to no one. And I woke up, ripped off the sheets out the window, let all that sun come in and get that recharge. The battery was on low, so all that recharge, I'm trying to fill it up now. And just me cleaning the room, I stumbled across a bag of tools that I was experimenting with, but I never had a chance to. And this was X-Acto knives, pieces of cardboard, paint brushes and everything. And I'm like, wow, I'm bored out of my mind. Let me try this now. Now that I have all the time in the world, I feel like God resetted the world going through a COVID, through the pandemic, that he did it specifically for me. So I took that as a personal challenge. I said, okay, I never experienced a pandemic. No one has. And I had no excuse, kind of. I had no excuse to go outside. There was no excuse to go to work. There was no excuse for nothing. You're locked in here. Why not put it to use? So I started working on a piece. And when I worked on this piece, I felt so good about myself. I felt proud. I felt
fulfilled.
Yo, bro, it was fulfilling. It was fulfilling. It was like, I didn't think about depression. I didn't think about anxiety. I didn't think about divorce. I didn't think about the case that I was going through. I didn't think about anything. I love this. If this makes sense to you, I couldn't wait to wake up.
Right.
Now that I wanted to sleep all day, now I couldn't wait to wake up. I had to sleep because you have to sleep. But I couldn't wait to wake up to work on this piece so I could finish it and work on the next one. And I'll be in the bed and looking at it. Okay, damn, I did that. I love this. And every time I worked on a piece, I'm thinking about my childhood. Amazing memories was coming to me as a kid. And I was so locked in, Panda. There's this thing called flow state. This flow state, like you see, like people
you had an
when they
out-of-body
pass away.
experience.
It's an out-of-body experience, bro. People that pass away, they experience these type of things. And it's like I killed this person. And I see myself working on these pieces. It's incredible. It's called flow state. When I sent that to New York Times, the fans in the comments in the website was talking about that. Like, yo, Danny, what you was talking about, you experience flow state. And it's very hard to accomplish that. You have to be in another type of level in order to experience that. You have to it's beyond meditation. It's like super locked in. And it was happening over and over and over and over. It was so locked in, bro. So when they say God always has something for you, you would know it that way. That was my purpose. I was locked in with that, brother. And that's why I knew that this was it. It was not about, okay, this is it. Now I'm going to be rich. Now I'm going to be famous. No, this is it. I found what makes me happy.
Purpose.
Purpose. I found what makes me happy. I found that what's not, I could run to this when I'm feeling sad. I could run to this when I'm feeling lonely, when anything, any emotion, even when I'm feeling happy, I have this building and miniatures, nostalgia. I'm playing with emotions. I'm giving you a feeling. And the same way that I give the world this feeling, I was giving it to myself first.
So the betrayal that you felt, that was because like all the people you thought that was there for you disappeared when you needed them the most, right? Because
they just were at a party. They had no interest in me.
Everyone loves the party when they're not.
I was just giving shit away. Yeah, I was just giving stuff away. That's it. Yo, I'm going shopping. Everybody's shopping. I was Oprah. You get sneakers. You get sneakers. You get outfits. And me and my family knows that my biggest satisfaction is seeing people happy. So, but giving it to the wrong people, they take advantage of it.
That's another lesson that I feel like people don't realize. If you can be used, people will find a way to use you.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's like, as somebody that I can tell, like you care about people and you wear your heart on your sleeve and stuff. Sometimes that's like the worst thing for the wrong person to be around you.
Doing something good, but it's just killing me.
Yeah, you know. But you were talking about, you know, you got that job, right? And the part that you left out was that there was an out of order bathroom that you would bring your supplies to and you would work out of.
Yeah. So now, you know, I'm getting this out of body experience in my bedroom, right? I'm working on miniatures. Now I get the job. I get the call. I'm an essential worker now. I killed the ego. I don't care who sees me on the train, on the bus. I don't care. I'm working. I can pay a little, my cell phone bill. I can give a little few bucks to my mother now. So I don't care. See me, laugh at me. I don't care, because all the people that I thought that were important to me at the time disappeared. So I don't have to improve nothing. So now I'm working in Greenpoint, in Clay Street, Manhattan Avenue. And I'm a maintenance worker. And you could say my first studio or second studio was an out of order bathroom in this homeless shelter. I had a tiny little school desk, and I'll have that walkie-talkie right there. Boom. I have the walkie-talkie. I just waited for that walkie-talkie to ring, go clean this bathroom, this floor, whatever, hallway, whatever. So I had to sit down on this. Bored. Internet, horrible. So this is God setting all these little things for me, all these uncomfortable feelings. So I said, I know what I'm going to do with my time. I'm going to bring my tools with me. So I was the little crazy guy with a book bag, with two bags every day, going to the homeless shelter to work, but also to perfect my craft. So I'll be in this out of order bathroom working on a piece, the walkie-talkie ring, go handle that, go mop it up, sweep, whatever, come back and work. And I'm falling in love with it more and more and more and more and more. But I'm mastering the craft, bro, because I'm doing something repetitive every day that I love, you know? And I kept posting. And for the first time, my mom is proud of me. Like, she was always like, come on, bro, you're in the streets. That's not going to get you nowhere. Killed, locked up. Yo, music, that's not gonna get you nowhere. She was very, very raw with it. Like, she'll support you, but she'll keep it real with me. Come on, dude. I come from an era and a family that working in a supermarket, minimum wage, doesn't matter what you're doing, that's success. As long as you're working.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that. You know, to prepare for this interview, I watched like pretty much every interview you've done and news segment, right? And you made a joke in a previous interview saying she don't support you in nothing. She loves you in her own special way, right? So you spoke about your mom really being traditional, wanting you to have a 9 to 5 reliable job. I know from experience when you have immigrant parents or minority parents, the way they show love is very different from that idealistic TV show white mom. You know what I mean? A parent,
There we
it's
go.
very different, right? And they sacrifice a lot to come to this country. So they want you to pick that traditional work path and everything, you know. From
Facts.
music to art, you've chosen the unorthodox way of making it, right? How did it feel for her to be the one that pushed you to pursue art?
I thank her every day. I thank her every day. That's why her social security check is all hers. I take her every bill that she has. I take care of it. I pick up her tab for everything. My mom is taken care of for the rest of her life.
It's beautiful, man.
She gets good. I could say that I am good. I don't have to worry about no bill for the rest of my life. And she's included in that.
Wow. So now, like you're saying that you finally made her proud, right? What was that feeling like for you on the inside?
Oh, man. I feel it to this day. I feel it right now as we're speaking.
I feel like it's enough to make you cry.
Yeah, every time. I cry every time. I cried with her this morning while we was having coffee together in the yard by the pool. And she's like, "Well, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you." And then, and I'm in the process of buying a home, and she's like, yo, I'm so proud of you. Just those words is amazing. And she's just crying. I'm crying. And she's like, God is good. And God is good. She's like, you see why I pushed you? I didn't know why I pushed you. Is that I wanted better for you, but I didn't know how to give you better. But you figured it out. And by me attacking you and making you feel bad, and I felt bad when I made you feel bad, and me dissing you and giving you, trying to direct you to that right path. Look where you at. I'm so proud of you.
Man, it's such a reminder that like being a parent is the most difficult job.
It's difficult, bro.
It's difficult, and you don't realize it until you become a parent yourself,
Yes,
right?
man.
And so like, sometimes we resent our parents for certain things until we like get into similar situations ourselves and we realize like how how it's so difficult to be responsible completely for another person, right? And how
Yeah.
when you mess up, like you can really like just affect them for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I feel like
Yes.
you found
Very
a lot of
sensitive.
you found a lot of healing with your mom through these experiences, and I think that's beautiful, bro.
I'm making up for a lot of mistakes, and these mistakes was a blueprint. It was a guide, But as personally, I'm taking it as a chance to give her things that the little small things, like, yeah, it's just amazing, Panda. It's just amazing. So all the viewers, if you could do something for your moms, bro, while she's here, for anyone, for your dad, for your loved ones, the best satisfaction is you making it in anything, and you're providing for them. It's the best feeling.
Yeah, man.
And don't take for granted those little things. Just going for a walk, bro. It's just it's success.
It is, man. Backtrack a little bit, but you grew up a big fan of comics and action figures, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to us about that.
Okay. Comic books. Pit, very underground, image. That's with Spawn, the McFarlane.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
With the greatest action figure sculptor of all time. Baseball cards, collecting cards, Like, man, G.I. Joes, bro, action figures, comics. I'm a big Batman, Superman fan. Batman because he's human and he's going against all these superhero with superpowers, and he's just using his bread to help him get these gadgets to become the superhero. And yeah, he's us. What we want to be is Batman, bro.
All right, we got to go into that though. Okay, so top 5 superheroes.
Top 5 superheroes. Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, Hulk, and Wolverine. I like Wolverine.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Wolverine.
All right, top 5 super villains.
Top 5 super villains. In any in his comic, right?
Yeah, in comics.
Super villains. The dude that Venom. The dude that Magneto.
Magneto, good one.
Magneto's dope.
Yeah.
Magneto's dope. Wolverine's pops. Sabretooth, I think is his.
No, that's his brother.
His brother, yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes. Yeah. Man, off the rip.
Thanos, Galactus, there's tons of people.
Oh, the one that swallows the worlds?
Galactus.
Galactic, yeah.
Yeah.
Off the rip right now. That's it.
But as a kid, you would save like cereal boxes and make like backdrops for your action figure scenes, right?
Damn. Yeah. so subliminally, subconsciously, that was what's going on to this day. That's what helped a lot of stuff. Being a kid, raised alone, I would collect cereal boxes, and I was always attracted to the background. So in Saturday morning cartoons with the Ninja Turtles, all the Saturday morning cartoons, the companies would feed you action figure commercials. They were always trying to sell a product to the kids in the 80s. And yes, I wanted the Ninja Turtle, the Transformer, the G.I. Joes, the Thundercats, Silverhawks. Yes, I wanted that. Bionic 6. But they sell these action figures, you know, with these amazing dioramas. Like for the Ninja Turtles, the dope building with the fire escape, the sewer cap with smoke coming out. So I was attracted to the background, like just so my playing with the toys experience would be better, would go elevated further, would elevate. So my mom, I'm like, I want that building. Please get me that. They don't sell that, son. They don't sell that. That's just to sell you the product. I'll get you the toy, whatever. So me wondering and imagining, I'll collect the cereal boxes, the Ritz boxes, cookie box, anything that was boxed, man. I'll tape them all together. I'll paint miniature bricks on the windows. I'll cut it out. I'll create little sidewalks. And I would disappear to this amazing world, Danny Cortes' world. And bro, it was the best thing that would happen because hours and hours and hours would go by. And just you're playing by yourself, you know? And I have this little city in my bedroom.
The attention to detail has always been in you, basically. Like, you know, like when you start to like look back and you're like, wow, like that's why I'm so good at making these art pieces and having like every little nuance be correct is because I was that way when I was a kid, basically.
And being attentive to, like, you know, in my like we was talking earlier, my daily walks. I was always observing. I was always like looking at the way the buildings were and again how crazy and chaotic it was. It was beauty to me. Like I had something was probably off in my head that as an eyesore to the normal eye, it was beauty to me. I don't know why. That graffiti wall, the graffiti mailbox with the rust and everything looks beautiful. why people don't like this. Why and people they pass by it every day because of the New York City hustle and bustle. They pass by this and then they miss it when it's gone. Like the payphone.
You know what's amazing is the recurring theme of there's beauty in the struggle, right? Like there's
Beauty in the-
beauty in the pieces
Yes.
that you're talking about. You know what I love about your story so much, man, is like that life is a canvas, right? And yours is filled with like so many different colors and textures. You've had influences from all walks of life. You know, you think about the sports, the music, the art, you know, the streets. It's just like you had like a well-rounded person, I would say, is like the best way to describe you.
I like that. Yes, yes. A well-rounded person, a little experience with that in a little bit as a New York City kid.
Right, right. So before all this though, right? Did you have experience in like the drawing, the painting, and the sculpting? Like how did you get so good at like making the figurines and stuff?
I always drew. Like I tried. I was okay. I wasn't the greatest, but I loved colors. I loved patterns. And again, with the cereal boxes, before going to school, eating my bowl of cereal, I've been looking at the cereal box and I was always attracted to where it said Captain Crunch or the way the letters were, the shadows, the color coordinated. It was the cereal box, man, had a lot of influence. The comic books, just the shadows, the color, the palette, the color palette, and then the attraction, it's I don't know what to say, bro. It's just everything, man.
When you were started first making like the ice box, right?
Yes.
Like how did you figure out this is what I do to weather it, to make it like look that way? Like how did you learn how to do that?
My daily walks, right? I will study rust. I will study the way the rust would flow. And there was always a pattern, like the lighter the rust is the outer, and then as the rust it's closer to the inner part of the rust is darker. And I studied the colors and I created this in my mind of the rust palette, Reese's Pieces. Again,
Man, you're like Rain Man for art or something like that.
yo, it gets like that. Like I don't see nothing no more when I'm my daily walks, bro. When I'm outside, my thing is just I see like grids, bro. Like, all right, I look at this at a building, I'm like, all right, what can I use to make that? And my mind is already working on what do I have in the studio to do it? You know what I'm saying? But again, to perfect the thing, I'm just in love with realism. I just want to trick the eye. I caught a kick of tricking you, seeing which is the real thing. And in order for that to happen, I had to study the real thing, you know?
But like, how did you decide like, okay, this marker or this type of like spray paint? Like, how did you decide? Like,
me doing YouTube University.
Oh, okay.
Also studying the greats like the World War II soldier diorama makers.
Mm-hmm.
These guys that be weathering the tanks, these army tanks and army planes. These guys are another level, bro. So if I can incorporate, I'll take a little bit of this, I'll take a bit of that, put my own flavor to it. I'll make real rust with vinegar, like a Brillo pad.
Wow.
I'll put that like in a jar, leave it out in the sun, and that creates a real rust. I'll take that juice or whatever, put it into a bottle, and leave that and pour that on. That was my first realistic rust. Now I do the rust with acrylics, and I can make it look as real as that. But yeah, just learning these tricks, learning from others, and also putting your own flavor, your own twist, just like music, just like a rapper. You're a fan of lyricism. You're gonna study the greats. You're gonna study the greats, and then you're gonna put your own style to it. Same way with art.
That's amazing, man. Who was the first person to purchase something from you that was like on a wide scale, like a big scale? Was it Dave East was the one?
Davies, yes. Shout out to Davies. Then from Dave, we did Haji's.
Because he hit you in the DM and requested like you make something, right? Like,
yeah, he was like, yo, bro, can you recreate Haji's? That's my childhood bodega.
Wow.
And I had made a bodega for Jacina Love is one of my homegirls. And who I recreated the bodega where she grew up in. Her grandfather owned the bodega in Marcy and in the South Side, Williamsburg, and Marcy and Broadway. And this bodega was community. It was part of a lot of people's lives. And due to gentrification and stuff like that, and then in being already old and couldn't take care of the bodega, let's put it that due to gentrification, they bought the building or whatever. So I made this piece and it created such emotion. It went viral, bro. A lot of people picked this piece up, a lot of reposts, a lot of news outlets, and it touched a lot of lives. And it showed me that, wow, if you stick to art, but try to make a nostalgic so you could give a feeling and a connection, a story to someone, like forget about the purchasing. Let's give the story. Let's give them a feeling. And that's exactly what happened. It went crazy. And I think she had a relationship with Dave East, and it got to Dave East, and he saw that. He said, yo, let's make Haji's, bro. And like, yeah, let's do it.
That's amazing, bro. Because you realize that through this art, you're really impacting people's lives. It's more than just the money. It's like you're really touching their soul, their heart. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because come on, man, we live in a chaotic time in the 90s. If I could give someone a little 3-4 seconds of a piece of nostalgia, that little goosebump, that little feeling that you use your 5 senses to transport you somewhere, I did my job. That's what it's about, Panda. Is giving that feeling.
So you first started, like your friends and family were like paying you like $20 or $30 in the beginning for a piece and stuff like that?
They thought I was crazy. They thought I was losing my mind. Shout out to my boy Naquan. I spoke to him yesterday about this. We were laughing. During the pandemic, I would just send them random photos of a piece, and he like, yo, you all right? He would call me, like, he wouldn't even reply to me. Like, oh, this guy's bugging out. And he would call me like, yo, my man, you good? You all right? You playing with toys, bro? What's going on? Everything's all right.
Yo, you in your second childhood now.
Yeah, it's like, yo, you okay, brother? Like, you were playing with toys, bro? Like, you okay? I'm like, dude, no, forget about the action figure. Look at the background. Yeah, it's a brick wall. Yeah, you went outside and you took a photo of a toy. I'm like, that's a brick wall that I did. Get the fuck out of here. You did that wall. Yeah, look. Now, FaceTime me. Holy shit, dude. I think you got something going on here. My cousin Red, but like, yo, bro, you got something going on here. This is fly. This is graffiti heads. They all have the same interest of us. They graffiti heads. They're hip hop heads. They're 80s babies. You know what I mean? And they're like, yo, this is dope. You know how many people are gonna love this? They're gonna fuck with this right here. And sure enough, yeah, the kid that they thought that was crazy,
So people thought you were almost like having like a midlife crisis, basically.
Yes. They're like, yeah, he's bugging. He lost it. Yeah, he's done. We lost our boy.
But then there were some friends and family that would offer you like $20 or $30 a piece.
Yeah, they're like, yo, how much would you sell? Are you selling this? I'm like, no, but you want it? They're like, yeah. How much? I'm like, give me $30. They're like, all right. I'm like, oh shit, I got $30 for something I just made for a few hours, and why not? I got lunch now. I got my cigarettes or whatever. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I made a few bucks for something. I'm like, okay, I could do this.
Yo, that shit's better than Bitcoin now. You got one of those early pieces?
Yo, bro, I just spoke to a collector too. He said, yo, bro, can I get my certificate of authenticity? I own the third icebox. I'm like, I will give you the certificate. You gave me $30 when I needed it too.
Right.
And you liked it. You put $30 in my pocket. Now that same piece is like $5,000-$6,000.
Yo, that $30 was worth way more in the beginning, though.
Yeah, shout out to Seek. See, yo, you seeing this? I got your certificate, my brother.
Man, so what was the first piece that sold for a lot of money? Like, and how much was it?
The first piece that sold, I got a nice check from Russell Peters.
Shout out to Russell Peters, man.
Yeah, that's my brother. That's the homie. That's like, yo, he's a great human being. He DM'd me on some love shit. He's like, yo, listen, yo, D, I want that. I made a train, J train, my first the front of the train framed. You know what I mean? I was thinking when I was doing the art, I always saw when I'm mentally manifesting my life was a white wall with a white light, a white wall with a white light, not knowing that this is gonna be a gallery. You know what I mean? So what I did was just put something that will be on your desk. I put into fine art. What is rugged 80s graffiti rust, I put into fine art. I put on the walls. You know what I mean? So I guess he saw that. So in his mansion, he wanted that look. Russell Peters is fucking hip hop, bro.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of stuff on him.
Russell Peters is hip hop. Yeah, I'll put him against the best of them, all the historians and yo, my man, guy. So Russell hits me up. He goes, how much for that train? I goes, I don't know, bro. 2,000. He offered me more.
Wow, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, he offered me more. He goes, no. I'm gonna have my guy send in the money, boom, 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 ship it to this address. And yeah, and every time I'm in LA, my boy, come over, have a cigar with me. And I'm chilling with Lord Finesse. I just did a piece for Lord Finesse as well, the Big L piece that Russell Peter gifted to Lord Finesse, his best friend.
Wow.
Who else? I got Chris Stein, the guitarist for Blondie.
Mm-hmm.
And amazing person, collector. Gilberto Santa Rosa, legendary salsa artist, legendary. All my Spanish viewers will definitely know what I'm talking about. 2 Chains.
Basically, anybody that is somebody probably hit you up already, man.
A lot, man. A lot. There's a lot. Big dogs. Yeah. A lot.
The amazing thing about you doing these pieces is that you've recycled so many materials. This is like eco-friendly, okay?
Eco-friendly
like
in the beginning, yes, eco-friendly.
Yeah.
I didn't have any money, Panda. I didn't have any money. So I tell the kids, the viewers, you want to start doing something, you don't need the highest technology to do it. Work with whatever you have around you. Bro, I was the first dumpster that I made. I still have it. I have the first icebox and I have the first dumpster. The first dumpster, during the pandemic, I'm in Blick Art Studio on Myrtle Avenue and I had $20. So I had to choose. Buy chipboard was like a piece. They only sell the big pieces was by $28. I only had $20. Or buy paint and brushes. So I decided to buy paint and brushes and a couple of X-Acto blades and skip on the chipboard, what was the main, for the main tool, supply for the piece.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got a few pieces at the crib. So yeah, I'll just use this. I boosted a couple of plays too, by the way. and I'm walking through Myrtle Avenue in Bed-Stuy, and I see a Calvin Klein box. Beautiful. It was just shiny. It was just for me. Green. And I decided to just, let me walk to this trash. It's just right there as on top. It was clean. I look at it. I knock on it. Check it out. Oh, this is the same. It feels even better than the chipboard that I use. Oh, I'm taking this. I'll just chop it up. I'll see what I can make with this. And I have the most exclusive dumpster in my catalog right now. Was made during the pandemic from a Calvin Klein box that was thrown away.
Wow.
Use whatever's around you, bro.
What's so crazy is that if people were filming you during that time and they didn't understand your vision yet, they'd be like, yo, he losing his mind. He's digging
Yo.
in trash. He's doing,
Yeah, I was in this literally digging, like, oh, I see this material, anything, bro. Anything that was out there, I'm just collecting it, bro.
Right.
But then again, in order for me to do that, remember I told you I had to kill the ego.
Exactly.
I didn't care who saw me. I did not care, bro. So what? Chavito's gone. So what?
Yeah.
It's a new. This makes me feel good. I don't care. Say what you want to say because people are gonna say something whether I'm doing something good or something bad.
Very true.
And when I learned that, like right now, I'm great, bro. Yeah. But there's someone still talking trash about me.
Exactly.
It's never gonna stop. So once you learn that and you get that out the way, and in order for that, you have to kill the ego. You're good. Success.
So when you're recreating these things, are you just looking at pictures like to copy like every single detail? That's how it works?
I'm taking my own photos of my daily walks, and also tap it in with old images, doing research.
Got you. Okay.
So being a miniature artist, being an artist had made me a mathematician, photographer. I'm a historian. It just an architect. I did an amazing interview with Architect Digest and everything on that. These are things I'm not an architect, but the architect world appreciates me.
Yo, you know that part earlier when I was talking about you being Rain Man? We're going to take that and we're going to put the numbers around your head floating, okay?
That'll be cool.
Yo, so how do you get the small stickers and all that?
Oh, yes, that's me. In the beginning, I would, again, everything is the walks, my walks around the area. And I would look for who's popping, who's active. You know what I mean? What artist is active on the sticker world? And I would take photos of it and then I'll throw it into Photoshop, shrink it, print it, chop it up, Mod Podge glue, boop, and put it onto the piece. Like, wow, something like this.
That's awesome, man.
And then something like this. So now the artist makes the sticker now. 1/4 inch, all the artists out there, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. And you will make it to one of my pieces. All right. So 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. And now it became a thing. Now I'm so busy with orders that I didn't really have time to be printing out and chopping it out.
Streamline it a little bit.
So I had to cherry pick, a couple of people. Okay, these are my go-tos. I can't just be going out there and doing the same thing over. I already got my little crew and I'm putting these only. But then a light bulb, bling. All right, bro, made a call of action. Anybody that want to get on my piece, 1/4 inch, make your own stickers, send it to this address, this PO box, boom. Now it makes it more easier. Now it looks more authentic. Now it's like a collaboration piece with all these artists, and I take them and it's like I'm paying homage to them and it's like free promo for them because now they get to be on the floors and the biggest stages in Paris and Belgium and Japan and in Germany. You know what I mean? So they get their stickers will be in dope gallery auction houses, in the best galleries all over the world, in collectors' mansions. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So it's like a little promo. So yeah, it's. But I did cherry pick in the beginning because I didn't have time.
Yeah. So talk about that though. Like when you first got into doing the art galleries and all that stuff, like, man, what was that like? That feeling, bro? Like now, like your work is being.
Bro, I was in the, Sotheby's is one of the biggest auction houses in the world. Sotheby's is older than America as a country. I was only a year and a half in doing the art. A year and a half. And I get a call from Monica Lynch. I get a DM from Monica Lynch. Shout out to Monica Lynch. That's like of my second mom. She is an amazing person. I owe her a lot, bro. She was the vice president or president of Tommy Boy Records at one time. She was responsible for signing Queen Latifah, Naughty by Nature, De La Soul, a bunch of legendary groups. So Monica Lynch worked for Sotheby's, and she saw my art that went viral, the street pole, the Calvin Knickerbocker, and she shot me a DM. Hey, what's up? Monica Lynch here. I think you have what it takes to show with us. And I didn't know what the hell was a Sotheby's, my brother. Trust me, I'm so locked in, bro. I'm like a horse in a horse race, bro. I'm like this, so tunnel vision focused. I don't care about money. I don't care about fame. I don't care about anything. My thing is just my satisfaction. You know what I'm saying? So then now I'm getting a message with tons of other messages. I'm like, all right, cool. It's another person that likes my art. Can you give me a call? We set up a meeting over the phone. We spoke briefly. She broke it down to me. All right, cool. It won't hurt me. So then I called my artist friends that did go to school, that did go to Pratt, that do go to galleries. And I said, yo, listen, a lady called me from Sotheby's and says that I have what it takes to sell art with them. What should I do? What are you bugging? You don't know what Sotheby's, bro? You're going to the Super Bowl, the Grammys, the Oscars of the art world, bro. You better take it. Watch when you sell with them, watch what's going to happen. Meanwhile, remember, I'm doing $30, $40, and $50 a piece.
Right.
Now you're talking $3, $4, $5, $6,000 a piece.
Man.
Big jump.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes it's so surreal that I went from, that's what I say, guys. Work from the heart, bro. Work from the heart, because it's going to happen. When it happens, bro, you get ready. Just get ready. It's very rewarding.
So at one point, you're asked to make life-size buildings of the Bronx, basically, that were instrumental in hip-hop's earliest days, right? For Hip Hop 50 concert.
You're good. Yes. I'm a part of history, bro. 50th anniversary of hip-hop. I did the set design, man. I did that. I did
amazing.
The set
now
design.
It's in the Hip Hop Museum, right?
Yeah. So those pieces that were in for Yankee Stadium for the 50th anniversary concert now are living in the Hip Hop Museum. So I love hip hop so much. That's how we started this conversation. Now my work will be immortalized in hip hop forever, due through my art. So I'm a part of hip hop.
Bro, that personal fulfillment that you must get from knowing that it's full circle, right?
Full circle.
But how did you get commissioned to do that?
The Hip Hop Museum contacted me. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. Third Base. Sorry. I forget the name for Third Base. Damn. Pete.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. I get a call. Yo, your work, I'm a super fan. I want you to recreate this. We got to do 52 Sedgwick. We got to do Disco Fever, life size. Can you do it? Yes, I can. I don't know what I'm going on, if I'm doing it or not, but I'm going to take the job. And I'm doing it because that's one of the goals, was to do set design. I was always attracted to the background. And now I have the opportunity to be in the biggest stage in the planet, in Yankee Stadium.
You wish it was a Met Stadium instead.
I wish it was. But I take it. For hip hop, it wasn't about the Yankees at this point. It was about hip hop. Yeah. But yes, man, I got the call, and of course, bro, and they took care of me very well. And we're part of history now.
Man, so how long did it take for you to do it?
Oh, we did it quick. I got the best team. Man. Shout out to my manager, Edward Rivera. We got the nice crew of carpenters that they come and they They put all the skeletons for me. And then I come, give it that touch.
Gotcha.
Bring the details out. So it's a team. It's a collective of us. When it comes to the set design work, I have a crazy team.
Yeah, it became a collaboration now versus...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they know that I'm the face of it, but we celebrate together.
So then you were also asked to show your work at Hip Hop Till Infinity.
Yes, so Mass Appeal.
Man,
Mass
what was that
Appeal.
like? You see, you've been getting so many of these things.
I forget.
Bro. I can tell you pause and you're like, wait, that did happen.
Yes, I forgot. Yes. So Peter Bender is the vice president of Mass Appeal, contacted me with my boy John, who works artist creativity there. A few of the art directors from Mass Appeal. They're like, dude, this guy's on fire. This is the look. This is hip hop right here. Check it out. We need his work here. We're gonna recreate Hip Hop Till Infinity. And we need all these nostalgic pieces. This kid has it. Let's recreate the Mass Appeal boombox, the art cover, the Mass Appeal DJ Premier cover. Let's do it. I made the life size boombox to Nas's single with DJ Premier. I brought that image. They gave me the image. I brought it to life. They fell in love with it. Nas was not in town that day. They put me on FaceTime with him. He was thanking me. And again, full circle again, one of my heroes. And just to tell me he's a big fan of my work and he appreciated it. And there's going to be many more work for me. Cool projects. And then that's what landed the Hip Hop Till Infinity.
Wow, man. You was on the FaceTime with Nas, bro. That is
with Nas, bro. And I got to meet Clark. And Clark gave me a big hug and told me how much of a fan he is of my work. Clark Kent was like, yo, bro, keep it up, bro. Keep it up. Then I saw him at the compound up over in Red Hook with my boy Free at an event over there. And that was the last time I saw Clark Kent.
Yeah, that's sad, man. You know, rest in peace to him, bro.
Yeah, amazing. He did so much for a lot of Big Willie's people's careers.
Yeah. You know, like you were saying earlier that like God was saying like, okay, you may not make it as a rapper, but like you're still doing this work that is going to be within the community of that. And you meeting all your heroes and everybody, you know.
Bro, MC Shan, bro.
Shout out to MC Shan, man.
MC Shan, bro. That's one guy that appreciates anyone that does something for them. When I made the Queens Bridge, and I wasn't famous at that time. I was getting well known. Like it was just the fire was just igniting, and I made an iconic piece. I made the Queens Bridge housing project sign, and which tons of artists started, making after me. But I was the first one to make that piece because it hit. I remember going through Queensbridge, staying over my boy Alexis' house. And we used to be in Queensbridge with my boy Cuzzo Onsalito. We used to be in Queensbridge all the time. And I used to see these project signs where it's iconic to New York City. So my job is to make these nostalgic pieces. And I make this Queensbridge sign, which I posted. Now I got Havoc from Mobb Deep. I got MC Shan, a few artists from Queensbridge in the comments like, yo, I want that piece. I need that piece.
Right.
I could have charged them. I could have said, yeah, I'm making it for everybody. It costs this much. I didn't see the value in that. I saw the value of you. It sparked something special in my heart with your music. Who better than MC Shan to own that first piece of Queensbridge, the Queensbridge sign? MC Shan had to own it. And I feel honored for MC Shan to own that piece, the first piece. The rest, I kept making it for everyone. But the number one is MC Shan. MC Shan, I gotta get you the certificate of authenticity, buddy. And what he did for me was amazing. A few months out of his heart, he probably stumbled upon miniature bricks and bunch of supplies. He sent me a bunch of miniature art supplies. And he made a video, yo, Danny Cortes, I will never forget what you did for me. But look, I just saw these things and I decided to buy it for you. And, you know, I want to see what you make out of this. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to open the bag up. I have the package there because it says MC Shan on it.
Wow.
And MC Shan, thank you so much, buddy. I hope to see you very soon.
Yeah, I've interviewed Shan twice, and he's a special type of person, bro. He'll keep it real with you. He says
what he says, and he means it, and no one could tell him any different.
Yeah. But what I love about what you're saying there is like that's your way of giving back to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's like we all benefit from being in hip hop, right? But it's about what you give back to the culture, not just what you take. And I feel like by you doing something like that, where you could have made thousands of dollars, it was like, nah, man, like you inspired me. You were integral, like a part of like me doing these things. This is my way of showing homage and everything. I think that's beautiful, bro, man.
Correct. Yeah, man.
So you've also worked with the MLB, right? What you got going on with that, man? What happened?
But now, full circle, I was a baseball player. Yeah, man. I'm doing amazing stuff. I'm working with MLB Latino for this amazing commercial with Lindor, Acuna, Tatis Jr., Vladimir Guerrero, and the star of the show is your boy Danny Cortes, making dioramas to certain periods in their childhood that made them, that's special to them. Again, that's when my art comes in. Like, for instance, Vladimir Guerrero's, his grandmother's kitchen. Why? Because food. You know, before a game, him and the players, the grandmother will cook for them. Or Tatis Jr., when his father would take him, you know, to games or whatever, they'll stay at the hotel playing MLB The Show. Or in Cuba, you know, they'll play street ball. So I'm making these scenes, and now they're in the gallery. And whose show is it? Danny Cortes' show. So now you got these artists and these people just looking at my art, but it's tied into the stories of the players.
Oh my God, man. This man getting too famous, y'all. You get too famous, man. Also with a MLB, I did Fernando Valenzuela's a Mexican legendary Los Angeles Dodger iconic pitcher. Fernando Valenzuela did his hometown baseball field. They also hired me to make that for another commercial. So we did 2 commercials under our belts that are about to drop any day now. Yo, he probably don't even know his name anymore. Girls calling him handsome. No, but like those people that turned their back on you and everything, right? When you needed them the most, have any of them tried to come back around?
Yeah. Plenty. I just say, what's up? How you doing? God bless you. There's nothing I could do. There's nothing I could do. I could just bless them, pray for them. And I can be an ear, but there's no financial gain with me anymore.
Right. And you know what? I think that it's beautiful that you say that, because when we harbor resentment and hate and anger, it hurts us more than it hurts the actual person.
Oh, maybe. But it's too much work. You know, with that, and then I'll be thinking about you too much. And then anything that when you come to my mind, it's a negative energy. I don't want that. I don't want it.
But you also did something with Toyota for the Forerunner Landia, right?
The Forerunner Landia, yes, I did. They
Shout out to that girl that won that too.
Shout out, yes, man. And if you need some a building or anything to make, let us know. No, but Toyota took care of me very well, and we just recreated a dope ass land. They're like, if you had land, if we was to give you this land, what will you do? What will you do with it? And they said, make it in miniature. Let's promote it that way. And shout out to the Toyota staff. Yeah, amazing.
Man, see, like you getting a call from a big company like Toyota. Sheesh.
So many. So Toyota, we did, yo, a lot. I can't, off the top of the dome right now. I went with Garage Team. Oh, so many brands, man.
You
So
can't
many
even
brands.
remember now.
Can't remember. I have to, and that's when the humble starts, because what I did was my tactic for this journey was to celebrate the accomplishment right there and then and forget about it. I didn't want to be one of those artists that like, I made it. What's up? And that's what happened to me in the music. I signed and I thought I was the biggest artist on the planet.
Right.
And which that's what affected me, because then I wanted to hang out. I wanted to be in the clubs. I wanted to spend my advance money. I wanted to be, shaking and baking in the clubs, thinking I was cute. No, that's when the real work happened. So now I celebrate. I learned that from that period. Now I celebrate the goal and we put it behind us. Let's go. Now what's next? What's next? What's next? And that's what keeps me grounded. It keeps me happy, and it keeps me hungry.
I hope you guys are listening, man. There's a lot of gems that he's dropping in this interview, for sure, man.
Yeah, it's real. It's real. I'm living it, bro. I'm living it. I'm telling you, this is. Come on, I've seen it all, bro.
So what's next for you, man? Because I saw the train that you just did, right? The train that you made.
Well, with Bushwick Collective?
Yeah.
Yes. That's a piece that we did for Bushwick Collective. That's again with my amazing crew. We did that in 9 days. I got everybody involved. I got all the the graffiti artists from Bushwick involved in it. Shout out to Theme, shout out to Sane, shout out to Ses4, shout out to Spot, shout out to Ghost. We got everybody involved in this project. I got the crew, Edward Rivera, my manager, Mike C. We all collaborated on this piece. And again, I put the details to it, made it realistic, like if we were in the Warriors, like if you're in the 70s, you know what I mean? We took it to that level. And we got so much going on, Panda, man. What's going on on my birthday, August 19th, we have an amazing drop. We have the fire hydrant. It's going to be only up for 24 hours. I don't know if this interview is going to be in time for the 19th, but yeah, it's going to be on the 19th, 24 hours. You'll get to receive this piece at DannyCortezNYC.com, only for 24 hours, $200. This is going to be a record breaker, just like the last piece that sold thousands of pieces. Now we're going to break that record with this. It's like I'm putting out a single. All my babies are singles. You know what I'm saying? So I decided to make something affordable for everyone. Not everyone's going to spend $3,000-$4,000 on my piece. You know what I mean? But I have to get back to the people that got me here. So that got me to my 1 million followers. You know what I mean? So now I want you guys to collect something also. It's a more affordable, hand embellished by me. So every piece is unique, and you get to be in your collection. You know what I'm saying?
What's amazing is that like you started as like the artist, but now it seems you're moving a little bit more to like a producer, kind of like you know what I mean? Like you're having other people work on it, but like it's your vision. It's like, like
yes,
you put on the little nuances. It's like the Dr. Dre ear, right? Like, like.
Bro, it's you put the nail in the coffin just like that, man. It's a blessing that I can do that.
And I heard that you spoke about wanting to open an art school eventually. Like that's like your dream.
My dream is to open a school. If I had that opportunity as a kid, my career would have been somewhere different, or it would have. But if I could spark somebody's imagination or a little drive through the best, now that I'm around the best artists, shout out to King Saladin, that's with me all the time, and he's always on whatever I need. He's on call. Eric Hayes, Ventura 2000. These are people that been there, that share the stage with Basquiat and been around Al Diaz, and they could influence the youth, that I could just make one call. Yo, I need you for a class or something for a few hours. You don't know what that little conversation can spark in a kid's life. And if I could do that, I'm all for it. And that's one of the goals.
What you're saying right now is amazing, because it reminds me of that Tupac quote where he says, like, I may not change the world, but I will spark the brain. that does. And I feel like by you being able to do something like that, man, it's like it's a positive place where people can go to be creative and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes, man. It is all about that little seed. Plant the seed, bro.
Yeah. So you specialize in New York art specifically, but you did a piece for Randy's Donuts in LA, right? So you're traveling the world now, Belgium, Tokyo, all these places. Have they commissioned you to start making buildings like from over there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's that
Yep.
like, man?
It's best feeling, man. I get to make cool art. I can't stay still. So wherever I'm at, I'm going to document it. And I'll go back to New York City, recreate it, and go put on a show. You know, and it's the greatest feeling because no one was, when I was in my mom's little 2-bedroom apartment in Bed-Stuy, no one was looking for me.
Right.
No one was looking for me in those dark times when I had the shade down and sheets covering the windows. I didn't want no light coming in my room. No one was looking for me. No one asked if I was good, you know? So,
you know what's amazing is that like so much has changed for you within 5 years, right? And when you think about it, 5 years is a lot of time, but it's not a lot of time at the same time, you know? And it's like when you look back, it was like, dang, just like, you know, that many years ago, I was fucked up. I was in a, you know, kind of position. Now look at where I'm at, man. Like that feeling must be so overwhelming. Like, you know what I'm saying?
it's sometimes, I don't know how famous I am. My crew, my fiance, which is the best person that God could put in my life.
Yo, she was the one that really was, you know, so important that she stuck it out with you. She was filming you. She was buying the art
like,
supplies.
yo, what are you doing? Like when I met her during the pandemic, we were chatting back and forth, and she's like, yo, your art is dope. Like, come on, you gotta. She's like, are you selling these pieces? I'm like, well, I got a bunch of people that want it, but I don't want to commit to it because I don't want to owe nobody anything. I don't want to take any deposits because I don't want to feel obligated to finish a piece for someone. She's like, dude, let's get the deposits, bro. Or she organized my books. She organized everything. And next thing you know, I had 3 people to, when I started realizing I was making more money in a day than I was getting 2 weeks at the homeless shelter, I had 3 people. I needed validation for 3 people. I did it for her, my mom, and my PO. Shout out to Sosa, my PO, which he gave me freedom. He didn't stress me out. He let me create. He also sparked the ambition I have today. And that's important for POs. There's a lot of POs out there that are bad and they want to downgrade you. They want to just like keep you in the system so they can keep locking you up, and you know, they're just there for a check. But this person right here, Sosa, shout out to you, Sosa, that you were like my brother. You kept communicating with me. You didn't stress me out. You let me create. And I'm also in this platform because of you. And people like you is what, more POs like you is what we need. And shout out to my mom. I just said, yo, should I leave my job? What's up? She's like, leave it. PO, Sosa, should I leave it? About time you leave it. I told Nada, should I leave it? She goes, you better go and I'm going to hold you down no matter what. You're not going to know until you try it. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to those 3 people right there. I always have them in my heart.
You know, the beautiful thing about your fiance is because she believed in you, right? In the time that you needed it the most. And it really shows that like a woman has the ability to really empower a man, because the way that she was gassing you up, like, you that dude.
What?
Right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
I was like,
you started believing it, and it's like,
it.
Right, exactly. So it's like the
and she don't want nothing from me. She actually giving me.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't taking away.
Danny,
she was adding on.
You better hold on to that one, because you see the culture now with some of these women.
Whenever we see each other, you're going to get an invitation to the wedding, baby.
Yeah, because you see the culture of these women now, the entitlement of like, yo, he better have this X amount of money if you want to date me.
She's old school, bro. She'll rock it out with no money, bro. Man.
That's
she's old school.
And I see like all the time she's right by your side and everything, man. Yo, shout out to her, man.
Shout out to Nada, my baby. Thank you so much for your words. Thank you for gassing me up, because where we at, we up, baby.
We up,
and
now.
She's chilling. She got everything. She got everything she needs. She and yo, it's crazy. This is how hardcore she is. She works. She knows she don't have to work anymore. She let her bosses know too. She goes, I don't have to work anymore. But she still goes. She's just that's just her. Everybody that knows Nada, you cannot hate on Nada because she has such a great soul, such a great, oh man, it's amazing. You can't hate on that beautiful woman.
Yeah, man. Shout out to her. How do you think this kind of work has changed you from your rapping days? You know what I mean? Because like, when you're a rapper, you have this image and this kind of like persona that you got to put on and stuff. I see you smiling way more, talking way more articulate and being like, nice.
Well,
and just,
you're right. Well, the art got me some new gems. but it showed me that it ain't that serious, bro. You try to show off for nothing. I was trying to live a life that I was trying to live it by these means that it wasn't me. I felt empty every day. I was trying to fill something that was empty, but I wouldn't. It was a cup with an empty cup with a hole in it. Mm. As much as you put on it, it was still spilling out. And it just showed me that a lot of it was fake for me. Like I saw a lot of fakeness, dark. And the art just made me realize that it's not that serious, bro. It's not that serious. You could do music, enjoy it. If you take on the art of like doing whatever you want, and as long as you're satisfied, everything else will flow. So all the artists out there, do you. Make yourself happy. It's like everybody's following a blueprint. And there's no such thing. If it's like that, it will come in a bottle.
There's a lot of restrictions when it comes to being a rapper in the sense of like people believe that you have to be a certain way.
Yes, right? And I lived by that. I was in that whole reality. I'm gonna move this phone because the percent is very low.
Okay.
I'm gonna switch it over here. Sorry, my bad.
It's all good.
Let's push it up right here. Hold on one sec.
Yeah, y'all see how nice he living. Look at that. He on vacation living nice.
Let me put this.
That ain't even one piece affording that, bro. That's like 1/8 of a piece affording that.
We good, man.
Yeah. No, but like I understand like the persona. I think that's what it is. Really, is that this situation is kind of like, how they say that art imitates life.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But sometimes life imitates art. Because you have to keep up that persona and everything like that. Your life is more miserable as a result of having to keep up with that. You know what I mean?
Yes,
you can't really be successful, happy, who you really are because you have to keep up that
You have to
image.
look a certain way. You have to dress a certain way. You got to keep up with the latest fashion, the jewelry and this and that. Now, bro, believe it or not, when I'm in Bushwick in my studios, I still, like, if I need to be at a meeting in a half hour, I'll hop on the train, bro. People recognize me, but people love it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, bro, more regular and I'm comfortable with myself. You know why? Because I know what I have. I know what I give. I know my future. I know where I stand. I know I got to learn myself. And I'm comfortable with that. And you see me with shorts, with paint, with all raggedy, and I'll be just, I'm work mode.
Nice
I'm
watch,
work mode.
You still got a little nice watch, a little ring though,
Oh, but these are little presents I give myself. Yes, little presents I give myself.
Yeah,
but it's for me.
It's just a little something.
So I put it. I say, you know what? I'm gonna give my little awards, show my little awards. But it's not what it is. It's not the end of all. Like, yeah, I have to get it. No.
Right. Now,
I wanted it and I got it. That's it.
Now, if you seen him come out on this interview with the big icebox pendant and stuff like that.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's got, because it's crazy. My jeweler was like, yo, bro, they beat us to it. because it's on the works.
Oh man.
And then Drake came out with it. But it's all right. You guys will see mine's cover.
Yeah.
That
Now you see the influence and the impact, though, bro. You see the influence and the impact of this
Come
man.
on, bro. What does Drake got to do with our Icebox? What? Come on. It has nothing. It has.
Well, you know, after that battle, he got put on ice
They're
a
watching.
little bit.
They're watching.
But you know, I look at the music video of Word on the Streets, right? Which is like, what, man, that song is amazing, right? I love that song, you know? But like, I look at that and then I watch the interviews now and stuff, and I'm just like, yo, we got to know Chavito, but now we got to know Danny. And this is who Danny really is.
Daniel Cortes.
Yeah, man. Yo, that's awesome, bro.
Word
man.
in the street. Wow. Shout out to Tompkins. They're holding me down that day.
Yeah, man. Well, all right, last question, bro.
Yeah.
I want to go full circle on this, right? How much does it mean to you to be Puerto Rican in this field where I'm sure you don't see a lot of people that look like you, right? And you putting on for your people?
It's a blessing. I am super blessed, and like I'm proud, bro. I'm proud. Wherever I go, I wave that flag. I have a tradition everywhere, every country I go to, I put the flag. It's like I conquered, you know what I mean? But it's personal because Puerto Rico's been doing this, such a tiny island, and the top artist comes out of there, models like Miss Universes, actors. Such a tiny island, a little ant compared to the United States and many places all over the world. And me being a part of that bloodline, you know, I get to wave that flag. And I know Puerto Rico's proud of me, you know, even though I'm New Yorican, and it's like a big difference.
I know, depending on who you talk to, man, you can get to an argument about
you know
that.
what I'm talking about. You could get those, like, he's not real Puerto Rican. I'm real Puerto Rican.
Flag,
you can't simple that. They created the flag at the Lower East Side.
Yeah.
With the help of our Cubans. But yeah, man, Puerto Rico, man, thank you so much for being a part of my life. Thank the music, the culture. Thank you for the rhythms, for your wind, for your love. I will always be Puerto Rican. If I die and I be reborn, I want to be Puerto Rican again. And I will continue to represent Puerto Rico. I'll continue to raise America because, again, America also is a big part of my life. But Puerto Rico, I love you, and I'll see you soon. January 28th, baby, in Santurce.
How do you think your Puerto Rican heritage influenced the style of art that you do, though? Because it does come through, bro. It does come through.
Because it's rugged, man. We come from the bottom and we come from struggle. And my pieces talk about struggle. It gives you a story. It tells you, you know, we've been through a lot, but we're beautiful.
Yeah, man. All right, Danny, I just want to say thank you for your time, bro. Is there anything else you want to say to the people before we go ahead and wrap it up?
Yo, man, keep being you. Use everything around you. There's no excuse. Start today. You don't need nothing fancy. Start now. Don't wait till tomorrow when your back is against the wall. Don't let nobody tell you can't do nothing. Because why? Because I've been there. I've done it. I am proof that if you believe in yourself, you don't need no validation from nobody. All you need to tell yourself is you. You're number one. You're the greatest. You're the man. So keep going. Use everything that's around you. There is no excuse. Start today.